Hi, my name is Francisco Hidalgo and I'm the founder of Acroview and the creator of the upcoming game Keeps On Coming. It's been 6 years since I came up with the idea for the game, but at the time I didn't have any knowledge of 3D or programming skills. But I knew I wanted to make this game, so about 3 years ago I tattooed a reminder on my arm, and each year I will put a number on it, so I will pressure myself to learn and try to make this game. I started to learn Unreal Engine and various 3D programs, and about a year ago the dream began. It was a hard process. I quit my job so I could invest all my time making the asset for the game and programming the gameplay for it. At this stage I already got a demo build for the game, and the game feels really fun to play. I really like what I have achieved so far, and this is how you come into play. The game is an action first-person shooter situated in Guatemala, in which you fight hordes of zombies in order to survive the outbreak released by a deadly flower toxin from Lake Atitlan. The game is in a similar vein of games like House of the Dead, but the difference is that you have to be aware of multiple sides or views to prevent the zombies from getting you. I based the game in different Guatemalan locations like Antigua Guatemala, Lake Atitlan, Tikal, and Semuc Champey, and want to replicate the look and feel of those locations and share them with the world. Guatemala's unique architecture and culture give it a fresh look on how the zombie apocalypse usually takes place. An example of this are the clothes of the zombies, which have the traditional color and textures from the region. Right now I only recreate the main attraction of Antigua Guatemala, Arco de Santa Catalina. I went there and took a lot of pictures and references, but in my 3D models I added some apocalyptic elements to give it its dark atmosphere. The zombies have had a drastic evolution due to my increased knowledge in the past year. You can see how much detail they have now. Because I wanted to make the best game possible, it's crucial to have the best soundtrack for it, to give it the final touch of Guatemala. That's why I couldn't think of anyone else than my talented friend JJ to make the soundtrack for it. I showed him the game and he was interested in doing the music for it.
So when Francisco first showed me the concept of the game and the initial graphics that he had, I was immediately blown away. I definitely knew that I wanted to work on this project, so we sat down together and we started discussing different ideas of how the soundtrack could be. Of course, we wanted to integrate different Guatemalan elements to it, and we wanted to make it sound very Guatemalan, but we wanted to take some creative liberties as well. Of course, we have the Guatemalan marimba and other percussive instruments and wood instruments that you would find in traditional Guatemalan music, but we added some other sounds there as well. So when we sat down and started coming up with these different ideas, we decided that each area of Guatemala should have its own sound to it. So like an example of Antigua Guatemala, you would hear not only the typical Guatemalan instruments, but you hear some other elements such as church bells because of the colonial style of the area, and of course there's a lot of cathedrals and churches, so we add those different kind of little elements just to fill in those gaps within the soundtrack. And the whole concept of it is that you will find in each area of Guatemala different sounds that are really representative of each area, and it just gives it that little extra something special that really makes the soundtrack feel full and complete.
If you decide to become a backer, you can try an early version of the game, and I would love to hear all your feedback and what would you like to see on it. Thank you for helping me out making my dream a reality.